now we are going to start our next chapter, that is object oriented programming. Well, object oriented programming, that is OOPS, is very important chapter when it comes to placements and internships, because interviewer might ask you, tell me a concept of this particular topic of OOPS, or tell me the keyword of it, or tell me a particular meaning or definition of that particular thing. So interviewer doesn't ask you the programs and all the things related to OOPS. He doesn't ask you he asks the concept of object oriented programming. Interviewer asks the concept related to object oriented programming, and in the chapter of OOPS we are going to learn about what are classes, what are objects, and how we can program these things, how we can program like a class, how we can create an object in our Java file and all those things. So in this chapter we are going to learn in detail what is class, what is object. And remember guys, before I dive into chapter, there are four pillars of OOPS. They are like four pillars of object oriented programming. First one is the words which I am going to write might sound an alien language to you, might sound like complex things, but in reality these things are very simple things. So first thing is encapsulation. Encapsulation. Second thing is it's not in order, so I am writing as I get my thoughts right. Polymorphism. Third one, abstraction. Fourth one, inheritance. So these are the four pillars. What we can say? We can say that these are the four needs, four pillars of object-oriented programming. So these might sound like complex keywords or complex words for you, but in reality, these things are very easy. Now, in this chapter, we are going to learn how to build a class, how to build an object, how to program it. And from my perspective, I believe that students who study Java understands the concept of OOPS a little bit faster and little bit better, because they have the unfair advantage right from the beginning, from the boiler code itself. We have been studying like in boilerplate code we will write public class. In this we write our public static void main function. Right from the beginning itself we have working with our class and public static keyword and all those things. So I believe from my perspective, right, Java, the students who study Java might have a unfair advantage mover, because from the beginning of my course itself we have been doing work on our classes, right? So as compared to C++ students, we Java students have more edge when it comes to object oriented programming. Now in object oriented programming we are not gonna learn about algorithms of how to solve problems or how to do things, or we are not learning algorithms comma techniques for solving problem. We are not learning this thing. In this chapter we are going to learn about how we can write the code, how we can what is the style of writing a particular code in Java or in object oriented programming. In object oriented programming we are going to see the style of writing, or what is the format of code, why we write boiler code as public static class, public class after public static main keyword, why we write those things, and what is the format of coding in Java. And in we are solely focused on using OOPS chapter, we are solely focused on writing style of our code, writing style of our programs, like writing style of our programs. So what is the correct format to write programs, and all these things we are going to learn in object oriented programming, that is nothing but OOPS. So let us take a scenario that we found out a way that by just writing the code will create an object, right? By just writing the code, suppose let us consider that I want to build a car. So if I suppose I am taking an example to explain the meaning of classes and objects. Okay, now suppose let us consider that we have find out a way to create a real world object by just writing the code for it. Suppose I want to create Maruti 800, a car, that is Maruti 800. This is known as car, right? So first of all, suppose let us consider that I have find out a way that by just writing the code I can build my Maruti 800 car. So here car, first of all, building or describing the overlay or the structure or the blueprint of car. Suppose a car has four tires, a car has a steering, a car has around seats greater than four, greater than or equals to four, and a car has a driver, a car has a roof. So describing all the properties, and a car should drive, a car should move, right? So describing the blueprint, describing the, I'm not creating the function, I'm not creating the car right now, I'm just describing a car should look like this, a car has four tires, a car should have a steering, a car should have a driver, a car should move. So I'm describing the car properties. So a car should have a color, black color, white color, blue color. So I am describing the properties of car. After that, I am describing the functioning of car. A car should move 300 kilometer per hour or 300 kilometer per second. So the functioning, first of all, I am describing the properties and the functions of a car. That is nothing but blueprint. So I am describing the blueprint. I am not creating actual car, but I am just describing a car. Maruti 800 should look like this, should have a shape like this, should go with the speed like this. So the blueprint is known as class. So just describing the blueprint is known as class. So class should describe the blueprint of objects. But suppose I have described the blueprint, right? Now I am going to create my Maruti 800 car. Suppose this is Maruti 800 first object, that is nothing but first car. This is Maruti 800 second car. This is Maruti 800 third car. This is Maruti 800 fourth car. So now I have the blueprint. I have the blueprint, right? From the blueprint itself, I am creating objects. This is my object 1, object 2, object 3, object 4. So objects are the real world entity. Now I am getting the real car such that I can drive, I can ride, all those things. So planning or blueprint, suppose if I want to create a house. So what architecture will do? First of all, they will create a blueprint. They just don't go and build the house right away. First of all, they create the blueprint of our house. So the bedroom should be there, the bathroom should be there, the hall should be here, and all those things. First of all, they describe the overlay. They describe like bathroom should be here, bathroom should be here, after that hall should be here, after that bed should be here, this is kitchen, this is veranda, and all those things. So describing the overlay or the structure or the blueprint, yeah, blueprint is known as class. Blueprint is known as class. After that, actually building our house, actually building our Maruti 800, that is known as object. So building actually building house house from the blueprint, this thing is known as object. So now I have built from the blueprint using the structure or the format of blueprint. I have created our house. Though the real world entity, that is our builded house, the house which we builded, that is known as object, and the blueprint describes the structure, functionality, properties, and all those things of a particular object. So what is class? Class is a blueprint. Class is a blueprint which will describe properties, functions of the object, whereas object are the real implementation of class. So this is how the class, and this is the meaning of objects. I hope you have understood. I tried my best to explain you all these things, class and objects. Now let us see how we can code a class and object in our Java. Now let us see to build a class and object in Java. Let us take an example that we have a pen. So pen has a color, right? So now I am using a yellow color pen. After that, pen has a tip. So if I give pen tip, that tip is nothing but thickness. So if I give 5, that is normal thickness. If I give tip as 10, then that is like a huge thickness. Thickness of pen is much greater, right? After that, set color is a function which will set the color of my pen. After that, set tip is a function which will set the tip of my function. So these two things are known as functions, and these two things are known as properties and or attributes and functions or methods. Now let us see how we can create object in our. Now this is my file. The file name is Java Basics. First of all, I am importing import java.util.star. I am importing all the packages from my Java collection framework. After that, I am creating my class public class, and the name of my class should be my file name, that is Java Basics. Java Basics. In this, I am creating my function public static void main. In the main function, string args. After that, yeah, I'll always remember that execution always start with the main program. So if you are going to create the object of a particular class, then you should start with main program. So execution, whatever we are running, whatever the programs we are writing, our compiler first of all scan for main class. So it will first find the main class, and after that it will start execute our program. So execution always start with main program. Right now, I am to create class, to create the blueprint of object. First of all, we need to write class keyword. After that, the name of my class, I am creating pen, right? So pen here, that's all. This is how we will create class. After that, what we have tip, and after that color. So I am giving string color, after that int tip. So tip will define the thickness, and string color will give me the ink of my pen. After that, I am going to create my function, that is void color. Set color, set color will set the color, that is here I will take a parameter as string new color. So here I am going to assign the color value. Color is equals to new color. That's all. After that, again I am going to create my function set tip. So set tip function will take input int new tip, and I am going to assign the tip value as new tip. New tip is equals to new tip. That's all. This is how our class look like. First of all, I will write class keyword. After my class name, in that string color and int tip, these two things describe the property of my pen. So these two things are property of a pen. So these two things are called as attributes. After it, void set color. After it, void set pin, set tip. So set tip will set the tip of my pen. After it, set color will set the color of my pen. After it, in the main program, to create object of my blueprint or class, to create object of my class, first of all I need to write my class name. Pen p1 is the object name, is equals to new pen. So this is how I have successfully created the object of my class. Here first of all I need to write my class name. After p1 is the object name. After it, new. After it, p1 parenthesis. This is how I create my class in Java. This is how I create my object in Java. After it, if I want to access the function or the attribute or property of a class, then I need to write p1 dot set color. After it, I am setting color as blue. After that, I am setting p1 dot set tip. Here set, in the place of set tip, I am giving tip as a 5. Right. After that, I am printing system dot out dot print p1 dot color. P1 dot color will give me the string which stores the color of my pen. After that, I am printing system dot out dot print p1 dot. So to access the attribute or the function present in my class, I use dot operator. So I will write object name dot the function or the attribute which we have declared in my class. After that, I am printing p1 dot tip value. Now let me save here and let me run this. So you can see that I have given in the line 5, I have given set color to blue. After that I have given tip as 5. After that I am printing the value of color, that is p1 dot color will store the color of my pen. After the tip will store the tip thickness of my pen, right? After that, here in the main program in the line 7 and 8 I am printing the color and the tip of my function or the class. You can see that here I have printed blue. After that I have printed 5, that is thickness of my pen. So instead of accessing the object or the class through setting color, I can directly give as a p1 dot color. P1 dot color is equals to black. P1 dot color is equals to black. After that, P1 dot set tip. Set P1 dot tip is equals to 10. Now let me save this and run. So you can see that I have printed black. After I have printed 10. So I can access any property or any function of my class by just writing dot, that is object name dot color is equals to black. So I am assigning at the string, here the string is empty. After it the tip is also empty. Now I am going to assign the color is equals to black. After that tip is equals to 10. Remember guys that class is just the blueprint. So in the memory allocation or in memory, class doesn't occupy any memory. When I create the object, then and only memory allocation takes place in Java. Right after it, here in the, you can see that in the line 6 I am assigning p1 dot color is equals to black. After p1 dot tip is equals to 10. This is how I can access or I can get the members of my class, the properties or functions, whatever the things which are present in my class, I can access through writing object name dot that property is equals to, and we can assign or we can do whatever we want. Right? This is how we'll create class in Java. Suppose if I want to create a class known as student, so I will write class. After that student. Student is the name of my class. Student. In this, what I am doing, I am taking the name of my student. So string name. After that int roll number. After that I can set as gender. So string gender, that's all. This is my string, gender. Now this is my class, right? So in the main program I am creating a object of my student class, that is I need to write student s1 is equals to new student. So I have successfully created the object of my student class. After that I am assigning the name of my student, that is s1 dot name is equals to, let us write Jabir. Right after that I can give my roll number as a C9, that is nothing but 9. Right, I can give after that s1 dot gender is equals to male. This is all, and I can also create another object student s2 is equals to new student. Here I can give name as s2 dot name. I am creating another object and I am assigning name is equals to I can write Rohan. After that s2 dot roll number is equals to 0. After that s2 dot gender is equals to male. So this is how I can give or access the members of my class. After that I am printing system.out.print s1 dot name. After that system.out.print s2 dot name. So this is how I can create objects in the line 15 and in the line 11 I have created two objects, that is s1 and s2, and by creating the object I am going to access the attributes or the functions which is present in my class. So let me save this and run. So you can see that I have assigned the name, that is Jabir. After it I have assigned Rohan. So I am printing their names, Jabir and Rohan. This is how the object creation and class creation works in Java. Now let us see one thing that is now let us talk about access modifiers. From the beginning itself, I have been telling you that public static is an access modifier, public is an access modifier, and all those things. Now let us talk about them in detail, right? So access modifiers defines the access of a particular attribute or a function to our user. So it will declare to give access to a particular user or not. Suppose let us consider that we are opening a bank account application, right? We are writing the code for bank account details of a user. So I can give that the name of my user as public, so anyone can access the name of my user, right? So anyone can access my name of my user, but password should be public. Password should not be public, because if the password get leaked, then it might cause a lot of problem for your user and for our company. So for that I will create a private thing. So for that thing I will create private password. So these thing will private keyword will keep secure our password. So in Java we have four things, that is default, private, protected and public. These are the four type of access modifiers in Java. So here let us take example, another example, that suppose our user are using is using google maps google maps and gpay and chrome. He is using three things daily, right? You can see that in maps, uh, our maps, google maps will store users data in a file in some coding language, in some programming language, and it is storing gpay information in another coding format. After in google chrome information in another file. So a file or maps is stored, or maps or whatever the programming thing of users is stored in the form of packages. And for maps let us consider that there are three packages, and for gpay like consider there are 3 to 4 packages. After that for chrome there are around 5 packages. So these packages will store, let us consider that these packages will store the data of my user, so I don't want that these package should interact with Google Chrome or GPay information is very critical, right? So I don't want to interact GPay or Maps with any of their data with other apps. So to prevent these sort of things, to prevent the user information or to secure the information of a particular user, we use access modifiers depending on that particular scenario. Now let us talk about types of access modifiers. In Java, we have four kind of access modifiers, that is public, protected, private, default. Now let us talk about first of all public. Public can be accessed through same class. Suppose you are writing some functions or the things, so you can access the attributes or the functions in the same class when it comes to public. After that you can access in same package also, that is package is nothing but collection of files. Suppose if you are storing the 2 3 files of Java which are interlinked between one another, then those things are known as package, right? After that you can access it you can access in the same package but not in the same class. Suppose you are writing class name student, after that class pen, you can access your class pen from the main program. So you can access the thing outside of the class, right? After that you can access in the subclass package. After that non subclass also you can access. So public is very much like you can access from anywhere you want when it comes to public. After that protected, in protected you can access in the within the same class, within the same subclass. So where is my pen here, where is my pen, yeah, कहाँ गायब रहता है Java, let me change it here. Okay. So you can access for protected you can access within the class. After it you can access within the package. After it you can access within the package but not in the part of subclass, and you can access in subclass also, right? These are the things you can access, but you can't access from different package. Suppose if you are creating a package that is Java 1 and Java 2, so Java 1 will store 10 files of Java code. After Java 2 will store the 20 files of Java code, and among 20 you are trying to access any one of the file is trying to access the Java 1 package. It can't be possible if you write protected keyword. If you write protected keyword, then it can't be possible, right? Let us talk about private. So private can be accessible only within the class. So I can write class. After it, I'm writing bank account. In this, I'm writing public string name. So public string names means we can calculate or we can access the name of the user from anywhere I want. Suppose I don't want anyone to see my user's password. For that, I will create private int password, right? This is how, and these can be accessed through within this class only. So if I am inside this class, then only I can I can access private, or else I can't access. It will show me error, right? I can't access within the subclass or within the package or within the subclass package or outside of the package. I can't access. So default, if you don't write anything, then Java will take those things as considered as default thing. So I can access within the same class, within the same subclass, within the package but not in the subclass. After different packages, subclass it can't access. After different packages, not different subclass, it can't access. So this is the concept of default, private, protected and public. Now let us write some code such that I will understand how we can access. Now here I am going to comment out all this thing I am going to remove, right? Okay, and I am going to remove my pen function. Okay, now here I am going to create my new class, that is class bank account. In this, first of all, I am going to store the name of my user, that is string name. After that, I need to store the password of my user, so string password, right? I have created two attributes, that is password and uh, name. So I can write here public. So I am making the string as public. So name can be accessed from anywhere within the package, within the class, or whatever, wherever I want. I can access if I write public, right? Suppose here I am creating an object. Here in the main program, I am creating object of my bank account, that is bank account b1 is equals to new bank account. So I have created a new bank account, that is b1. After that, I can access or assign the things whatever I want in my main function, that is I am creating the name of my user, that is let us consider that Khan is my name of the user. After that, I can give password as b1 dot password is equals to, I can give password as abc, right? That's all. Suppose that's all right. Now I'm printing system.out.print b1.name. After that, system.out.print b1.password. Now let me save this thing and run. You can see that we have printed Khan and ABC. Okay, so here I have made the string name public, after the string password as public. Now I want to secure the password or the sensitive information of my user. So to secure the sensitive information of my user, I need to write here private keyword. So if I write private keyword here, then you can see that it is showing me error. It is showing that the field bank account is not visible, and you can see that the field bank account is not visible. It is telling that I can't able to find the password attribute in the class, because private keyword will hide the thing, the actual like password of my user. So I can't access through my main program because it is outside of the class, right? So this is my class, and outside of the class I am creating a function and I am trying to access password, and it is showing me error because private keyword will not allow me to access our users information or password outside of the class. That's why it is showing me error right here. So I need to remove this thing, and this thing also, right? Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, I need to remove this thing also. Now this is how I can access particular name, and I can restrict the access of a particular keyword. Here, how I can give password? I can give password by just creating a function, that is, I can give directly, I can assign the password here by just writing password is equals to suppose xyz. So this is how I can give password to my user. Or I can also give like I can create a function that is void password. I can give that this dot password is equals to password. This dot password is equals to xyz. So this is how I can create the function, and I can assign the name, that is password, the values of my passwords. So this is how the assignment and the private keyword and different access modifiers work. So to secure the information of my user's data type depending on that particular scenario, we use the respective keyword. You can study the access modifiers in detail in Stack Overflow website. I am suggesting a website that is Stack Overflow, and you can study about access modifiers, different types of access modifiers in Java for different kind of things. Now let me save this, and here I am giving name is equals to uh, Jax. Now let me save this and run. It doesn't show me error. I'm just printing. So now if I want to access, that is a b1 dot password, right? That's all. Now I want to print the password to my user. So I can here print the password, that is system.out.print password. That's all. Now let me save this and run. You can see that I have printing the password to my user after my name. So this is how the working of a particular function using particular access modifiers work. I hope you have understood what is attribute, what is a function or method, and what are different types of access modifiers in Java. This is how the concept of access modifiers and class objects works. Now let us talk about how how memory is allocated to a particular object. In Java, there are two kind of memory types. That is a stack. So every variable stores in the form of either two things, that is either in the form of stack or in the form of heap. So in the pen class, we have created like color, after it the tip and all those things, right? Set color, set tip. So these all things, and we have created in the heap, we create object, pen object, and those all things are stored in the form of heaps. So objects are stored in the form of heaps in Java. Now let us talk about getters and setters. So get keyword or getter is used to return the value of a particular data. To return the particular value of a given attribute or property, we use get. After set is used to modify the given value. Suppose there is a value called as x, and if you want to modify that particular value, then we use set keyword. Right after this is used to refer the current object. Now let us understand get, set and this keyword in detail by writing a pseudocode. Let us consider that I am creating a class, that is class pen class. Here I am writing the string color of my pen, that is by a private access modifier. So private string color. After it private int tip. After it I am setting the color. So to set color, I am writing string get color. So get color will set the color of my pen. After it I am return this dot color. Right after it I am setting the setting the tip of my color. Right, set tip or set, you can write here color. So I want to set the color. So here get is used to return the name, the color of my pen. After set color is used to set the tip of my pen, that is string. I will pass here color. After this dot color is equals to the color which we pass here. So I am assigning the color which we passed here. And in the main program, what I am doing, I am creating a variable or object that is p1 is equals to new pen. After that I am setting my color pen, color dot set color, that is blue. After that I am printing system dot out dot print get p1 dot get color, p1 dot get color. That's all. So here you can see that I have made the private keyword access modifiers such that I can't directly access my string color or tip. So to access or set color of my tip, I have created set color. So set color will set the color here. These color means this variable. After the color, these color means the parameter which got passed by our user, right? So here I am passing blue as my parameter and I am setting on the color variable, I am setting color is equals to blue, right? Whatever the color I have set, I have printing, I am going to print that by calling get color. So I can access my private variables by set and get keywords, and these keyword is used to refer the current object. Here we are referring p1 object. That's why these dot color is equals to I am storing the color value. Here the color is blue, so here I am storing the color value in this variable. So I hope you have understood the concept of set color and get color. Now let us code this thing. Let me remove all this. Now I am going to create my new class pen. In this I am going to access private set color, private string color. After it private int tip, right? After it I need to set the color of my pen, right? So I need to return the color which I got from the user. So for that I am going to create my function that is string get color, right? Here I am going to return this dot color. After it I am going to create my function void set color. In this I am taking a parameter that is my color, string color. In this I am putting the values, this dot color is equals to whatever the color I got. I am going to assign that to my property, that is string color attribute, right? So color, that's all. And in the main function I am going to create comment out all this thing. Now here I am going to create my object that is pen p1 is equals to new pen. After that I am going to assign p1 dot set color. I am going to pass blue blue. After that in the double quotations I should give, right, because it's a string. After that I am printing system dot out dot print. I am printing get color function, p1 dot get color, that's all. Now let me save this thing and give here. So you can see that I have assigned color blue to my pen. After that I am printing the value of blue. So this is how setting of a particular color or a particular function getAs setAs works for my classes. And this keyword is referring the current object, that is this keyword will refer the current object, that is p1. So this is how the keyword for get, set and this keyword works. Now let us talk about encapsulation. So I told you now that there are 4 pillars of OOPS. So if we study in detail about OOPS, if we study about these 4 pillars in detail, then OOPS is completed. Right? The 4 pillars are: first one encapsulation. Second one is abstraction. Third one is polymorphism. Fourth one is inheritance. So the meaning of encapsulation is very very simple. That is, the encapsulation is defined as wrapping of data. Wrapping up of data and methods under a single unit is known as encapsulation. Right? It is known as encapsulation. So by just listening to the name, I can get some idea that encapsulation. So that is nothing but encapsule. I am getting as capsule. So capsule looks like this, right? So a capsule looks like this. Let me rewrite this again. Let me clear. This is the worst diagram I have ever seen. Okay. Okay. Now, by just listening to the word, what I can recollect, or what is the diagram, what is the figure I am getting, that is capsule. So a capsule looks like this. So encapsulation is nothing but wrapping up of data and methods. So in encapsulation, that is nothing but capsule. We have two things. One is methods or functions, and the second one is attributes or properties. So in class we have defined properties and functions of a particular class, class or object, that is known as encapsulation. So we have wrapped the properties, functions, whatever the things we needed for a particular object, we have wrapped them in a class, that is known as encapsulation. Right? So encapsulation is also used to implement data hiding. So if I want to hide the unnecessary data to our user on our interface, then we use encapsulation, right? So encapsulation is also used to implement data hiding from our user. So to hide unnecessary data, we use encapsulation. We just write private. So we write private such that user can't access or can't see the things which are unnecessary or which are not that much needed for with respect to our user. So wrapping up of attributes or properties with methods, combining uh, these two things combining combination is known as encapsulation. So when someone asks you that tell me define me what is encapsulation, you just tell them that wrapping up of methods and attributes is known as encapsulation, and encapsulation is also used to implement data hiding from our user. So if you want to hide some valuable data which is not that much necessary or that much needed for our user, then you will use encapsulation techniques, that is using access modifiers, private, public, protected and default. So this is the concept of encapsulation. Now let us talk about constructors. So constructor is a method or a function. Constructor is a special method or function which is invoked automatically when the object is created. So in the main function we have created a object, right? P1 is equals to new pen. So these thing is known as constructor. So when we are creating an object of a particular class, constructor is automatically called by itself, and constructor, the name of the, remember that the name of the constructor is our function or class name itself, right? So we are writing class and we are class suppose pen, right? And we are giving attributes and functions. So this is our class. So we are creating the object, right? Pen p1 is equals to new p1. This thing is known as a constructor. So the name of the constructor is the name of my class itself. So the function which has the name of my class, that thing is known as my constructor. And it is generally, we haven't created in previous example, we have created object, we have created class, so we haven't created like in particular constructor, but constructor are called or invoked automatically when we create the object of a particular class. Now there are some properties of a constructor, that is constructor has same name as class. I told you that constructor name is my class name, right? Structure is nothing but a class. In C or C++, we like separately give names as structure, union and all those things. In Java we don't have all that. In Java we have classes. So my constructor name is equals to my class name. After, the second property is constructor don't have return type, right? don't have a return type, not even void. So we know that void means nothing, so we don't even write void for my constructor. So remember guys that constructor don't have a return type. After the third property is constructor are only called once at object creation. So at object creation we have called our constructors. After that memory allocation happens. Memory allocation is only happened when I told you that class don't hold any memory. When we create the object, then and only the memory allocates. Similarly, when the constructor is called, then and only the object memory is formed. So what it means? First of all, you have to understand that we have created our class. After that, our function. In the main function, we have created p1 is equals to new pen. Here, pen and parenthesis. We are writing new pen. That is nothing but my name and parenthesis. This thing will create the memory allocate the memory for my object. This particular thing is known as constructor. This particular thing is known as constructor. So memory is allocated only when my constructor is called. So these are the some properties of constructor, and there are types of constructor. Let us talk about that, but before that let us see how a constructor looks like. And now I am writing a function in the right. I am writing my function class student. Student is my name of the class. After that I am here writing my string name. After that string roll number, right? So we have created string name, after string roll number. Now we are going to create our first ever constructor. So in previous lectures we have created constructor not knowingly. Now let us create the constructor in my class itself. Now let us see how to create constructor. I will write the name of my class, that is student. After that here I will print system.out.print. I am printing just when the constructor is called, I am printing system.out.print. I am a student. Right, that's all. Save this. And now I am not gonna do anything. I am just going to create the function of my the object of my class. That is student s1 is equals to new student. That's all. Right, now let me save this. So when I run this, you can see that my output is I am a student. So this function creation has invoked my constructor, and I am doing whatever the steps that are included in my constructor. So you can see that in the constructor I am printing system.out.print I am a student. That's why in the output screen you can see that I have printed student. Now there are three kind of three types. You can say that there are three types of constructors in Java. That is, first one is a non-parameter constructor, second one is with parameter, and third one is a copy constructor. Now let us talk about them in detail. So in Java there are three types of constructors, that is non-parameter or without parameter, and the second one is this is my first one, second one is with parameter, and third one is copy constructor. So we will study about copy constructor in the next video. For now let us see what is non-parameter or with parameter constructor. So we are writing our constructor, right? We already studied that our constructor name should be our function or class name. So the constructor name is our class name. So now I am going to first of all create my function, that is let us consider that here I am creating a class student. After that here I am going to write string name, after that string roll number. After that what I am going to do, first of all I need to write, first of all I am going to create my first type constructor, that is non-parameter constructor. So I will write my constructor name student. After that no input, here I am printing system.out.print I am a student. That's all. Right, after that here I am passing the name of my student. So here I am passing the name. Let us consider that I am passing string name as my parameter. So my in the main function our object will give me the parameter. After it, here I am going to assign these dot name. So it means these keyword. So these dot name is equals to name. Right, after it I am printing system dot out dot print. I am printing my name is plus name. So you can see that we have created two constructors here. This is my first constructor and this is my second constructor. So we have created two constructor. You can see that in the first constructor we haven't given any parameter. This thing is known as non-parameterized constructor, and the second one is we have in the second one we have given the input, that is our parameter. So this thing is known as with parameter constructor. So here let me write the code for this kind of things, that is these two kind of constructors. So we have created a first type of constructor and second kind of constructor. In this we are giving string name. After that, here this dot name is equals to name. After that, here we are printing my name is plus name. That's all. Here let me remove this thing, and now I'm going to create my function, that is my object student s1 is equals to student new student, and here I'm passing my name, that is Jabir, Jabir. Now let me save this thing and run. It is showing some kind of error, that is student can't be resolved type. Okay, so let me save and see what the output I will get. It is showing can't find the symbol. Okay, I have given capital S, my class name is small s, so let me write small s. Now everything is sorted, I think so. Let me write again my student s1 is equals to new student, right? That's all. Now let me save this. So you can see that I have printed my name is Jabir. So this is how we have created two functions, two constructors, that is student first constructor without parameter and second constructor with parameter. Now if I create here another constructor, that is student s2 is equals to new student. I am not passing anything as my parameter, then it will just print that I am a student. Right, here my name is Sabir Hussain and I am a student. Right, this is how the constructor works. And writing the function name, here constructor is nothing but a function or method. So writing the name of my, you can see that here the name of the function is same. The name of the function is same. The only change here is with parameter or without parameter. This thing is known as polymorphism. We will study about polymorphism in detail. Now let us talk about copy constructor. I hope you have understood constructor with parameter, constructor with uh, without parameter. Right, now let us talk about copy constructor. Up to now we have seen two kind of constructors, that is constructor with parameter and the constructor without parameter. Now let us talk about a copy constructor. So the concept of copy constructor is very simple. Let us take that there are two objects. This is my object 1, this is my object 1, and this is my object 2. So there are two objects and I want to store, suppose let us consider that there are some properties and functions which are there in my function, that is object 1. So there are some functions and properties in object 1 and I want to copy the properties and whatever the functions which are there in my object 1 directly into my object 2. Those things we can be done, those things or copying can be done using copy constructor. Now let us see how the copy constructor work. Now first of all let me create my class student. So class student, in the student class we are going to create a string name. After that string roll number. After that string string. After string you can say let us consider password of the student email id or whatever things we have. Now here I'm going to create my object of my student class, that is the student s1 is equals to new student, that's all. Right, in this I'm going to create my constructor, that is student in this without parameter. First of all, I'm going to create a constructor without parameter. In this I'm going to call student. I'm going to print student constructor is called is called, right? Okay, after that I'm going to create my copy constructor. See the syntax carefully, that is I'm going to create my constructor student constructor. In the student constructor, what I'm doing, I'm taking the object of another student. Now I'm taking the object of s1 here. Suppose let us in the main program, first of all let me give here uh, small s, right? Okay, small s. So here let me give student name as s1 dot name is equals to Jabar Jabir. After that s1 dot roll number is equals to c9. After that s1 dot password is equals to abc. So these are the like roll number, name and password of the given student, right? Here showing something here, roll number. Yeah, we have to write here roll number. So I have given the values of roll number, name and password of my student class, student object, that is s1 dot name is equals to Jabir, s1 dot roll number is equals to c9 and s1 dot password is equals to abc. Now I am going to create my copy constructor. Let me remove this again. I want you guys to see the structure. First of all, I have written student. After it, in the parameters, in the parenthesis, I have given student s1. Here I am passing this dot name is equals to s1 dot name. After that, here this dot roll number. So I am taking whatever the values which are present in my s1 object and taking those values. s1 dot roll number is equals to let me give suppose d0. After that, here this is how I am going to take whatever the values which are present in my object one. Suppose the student has forgotten his password by chance, that he forgot his password. For that particular thing, we are creating another student object, that is student s2 is equals to new student. Here I am copying whatever the values we have, right? Whatever the values we have, I am copying that value, and after that I am giving a student new password. So we will give our student new password, that is let me give xyz as my new password. So we will copy the whatever the data which is present in my first object to my second object. After it, for password I have given like a separate line. I can also give here right, this dot password is equals to xyz. So I can directly give here in the, instead of writing in the main program, I can directly give as my student whatever the data I am copying, whatever the data student 1 has, I am copying to into the student 2, all the parameters, name, roll number, password. I am calling all this thing. Now here, after copying all the things, I am printing. Let me print system.out.print s2 dot name. After that, let me give here system.out.print. Let me give here s2 dot roll number. s2 dot roll number. After that, here system.out.print. Here I am giving s2 dot password. So I am printing whatever the values the student have, I am printing, right? Here initially s1 is s1 dot roll number is equals to c0. So student has forgotten his password. For that particular reason, we have created another another object s2, and I am copying whatever the values present on my s1. Whatever the values, what are the things present in my s1 object, I am copying those values in my s2. After that, here you can see that this is my constructor, copy constructor. This is my copy constructor, copy constructor. constructor. In this, what I am doing, I am creating constructor name. After it, in the parenthesis, I am taking input as my first object as my parameter. After that, I am taking whatever the values present in my password. So I can write here, instead of writing xyz, I can write s1 dot password. That's all. And here I'm changing the roll number of my user. Here the roll number is C9 and I'm changing it to D0. So this is how the copy constructor works. Now let me save this thing. Yeah, you can see that the student constructor is called first. That is, this is my constructor. In this I am printing student constructor is called. After that I am printing the student name. After that I am changing his roll number because he forgot his password, and I am giving whatever the password he said before, I am giving that password to our user. So this is how the constructor copy constructor works. Now suppose here, let me create in the student class, let me create with along with the password, I am going to create marks array. Marks array. In the constructor, each constructor has a marks as it will store 3 subject marks. So marks is equals to new int of 3. That's all. Similarly, in the copy constructor, I am going to write marks is equals to new int of size 3. So I am storing 3 subject marks. Let me give the marks of first subject, that is s1 dot s1 dot sorry s1 here. Let me give the first subject marks, that is s1 dot marks of 0 is equals to 100. After s1 dot marks of 1 is equals to 99. After that s1 dot marks of 2 is equals to 98. So I am storing whatever the values in my s1 object. After that I am calling my constructor. I am calling my, in the 11th line, I am calling my constructor, that is student s2 is equals to new student. After that let me run my for loop. Let me comment all this thing. Now I am going to run my for loop and I will print my marks. So int I is equals to 0 and I should be less than 3. After that I plus plus. In this, what I am doing, I am printing system.out.print, system.out.print. Here let me give ln here. Now I am printing marks of s2 dot marks of I. That's all. Now you can see that the data, whatever the data I have given, I am copying that and I am printing to my user. Here in the constructor, let me give these dot marks is equals to s1 dot marks. So whatever the s1 will have marks, I am storing it. Now let me save this thing and then you can see that I have copied the marks 100, 98, 99 from the s1 object to s2. Now here let me give here one thing, that is after calling my constructor class, I am changing marks of 2 as 0. Marks of 2 as 0. Now let me save this. So what you will observe, that is s1 dot marks of 0, marks of 2 is equals to 0. I am putting it 0. Now let me run. First of all, let us before running this program, let us see what the output will get. So whatever the value I have called my constructor. So first of all, I have assigned the marks 100, 99, 98 to my s1 object. After that I have called my constructor. In the constructor, whatever the array we have stored what in our s2 object. In our s2 object we have stored whatever the value we have. After calling x2 object, after taking whatever the input s1 has, after it we have changed the marks. Now we are running. Now let me save this thing and run. You can see that the actual array is also got changed. This is because of shallow copying, a concept called as shallow copying. So we have created S1 array, that is, let us consider that this is my S1 array 100, 99 and 98, right? And this is my S1 object and this is my S2 object. So whatever the array we have, these object will point to this array, right? If I change the value from 0, then S1 will also become 0. Now we have created a copy constructor, right? So we have taken the whatever the values present in my S1 object to my S2. So when I change the value of 0, after calling copy constructor, you have observed one thing, that S2 values also got changed. This is because that S1 will point to this array and S2 will also point to this array only. S2 will not separately create a new array. This will also point to this array. This concept is known as shallow copying. So you can see that to understand the concept of shallow copy and deep copy, let us consider that we have been to pool, right? We have been to swimming pool, and in swimming pool you have observed one thing, that water goes like this way, and initially the water is shallow. As we go deep inside it, the water will become deeper, so the depth of the water becomes deep. So you can understand like this way. So shallow means whatever the changes you do in the object, that will reflect in my main program, right? Suppose s1 is linked with suppose I am copying the value of s1 to s2, right? After that I am changing some values to my s1, right? I am changing the values of s1. So when you call the properties of s2 values also got changed. This is because of shallow copying. So whatever the changes we do, we are actually, this is the reference, this is the reference. So s1 will point to this array, and s2 will also point to this array only. That's why this thing is called as a reference. When the reference s2 comma s1, when the s2 comma s1 reference is same, that is no new array is created, then the changes will reflect, then the changes will reflect. Similarly, in deep copy, we create a new array. So in deep copy, we don't give the reference to my S1 array. Here we create a new array. We create a new array, right? A new array such that no changes will take place. So if I create a new array for my S2 variable and copy all the things into my S1, sorry, S2 object, then no changes will take place. This thing is known as deep copy. You can study about shallow copy and deep copy by the link provided in after the video lecture completion. You can study also in Stack Overflow, and if you are really interested in programming, then you can study about shallow and deep copy concept. Now let us talk about destructors. Right, in universe a balance is very necessary. Thanos and Batman told that a balance is very needed, right? Similarly, right, balance is very needed. And similarly we have constructors, right? Similar to that we have destructors. So destructors is nothing but freeing up space. So we have destructors. So in C++ or C language, we need to separately give like a free keyword such that to clear the memory of a particular object or memory of a structure variable, right? So to clear memory in C++ and C, we need to give like a free keyword to remove or to clear a particular data from our code, from our program. But in Java we don't have any free kind of keyword or anything. We have garbage collector. So garbage collector, you can imagine as a garbage collector as a form of submarine. So what submarine will do? Submarine will scan each part of the ocean, right? Similarly, let us consider that this is our code, right? This is our code, and these are the objects are files, whatever the thing we have, right? Suppose this is the one object, right? Let us consider that this is our submarine. So Java garbage collector will scan all these things, and if particular this object is not necessary in my rest of my program, then it will automatically clear out the object from my memory. This is the concept of garbage collector or destructors. Now let us talk about our second pillar of object-oriented programming, that is inheritance. So we have already seen, right, inheritance from our grandparents to whatever the properties or values or DNA passed from first generation to second generation. This thing is known as inheritance. Similarly, in programming, inheritance is when properties and methods of base class. You can also take base class as passed from passed on to derived class as child class. You can write it derived class as child class. So inheritance looks like this. The demonstration of inheritance looks like this. So this is the tree for inheritance looks like. First of all, our grandparents, that is our grandma and grandfather. After father and mother. After we and our future wife or future husband, whoever, after our children. So we have passed on the values, properties, DNA, and thinking ability, and logical thinking ability, and mental fitness, and all those things from our grandparents to our parents, and our parents to us, and now from us to our children. So this is how inheritance takes place. We can take example as let us take example to understand base class, that is nothing but our parent class, and derived class. So let us take example of superhero. So we create a class for superhero, and we will write whatever the properties or functions or class of superhero has. So let us write that function or method for superheroes can fly, right? So we can write the function of right, like fly, superhero can fly. After it, they use tech, right? Iron Man use tech, right? After it, they have speed. So the Flash travels with the speed of light, so they have extra speed, extraordinary speed. They are speed stars, right? So these are the some basic properties of class superheroes. After it, from superhero we can create our child class as a class Batman. So these Batman class will inherit whatever the values that superhero has, and it will add its own unique things also. Like it will copy or inherit all the things from superhero class, plus inherit all the things, plus Batman has the highest IQ in our superheroes. So Batman has additionally one feature, one function, that is IQ. So this is superhero is the base class or parent class. From that a child class got inherited, that is Batman, and all the along with the all the properties of functions that superhero has, along with additional property Batman has, that is IQ. So you might not understand this example because you need to be like a superhero fan to understand these things. So let us take a general example that let us take a base class as animal. So animals, in animal class, animals can breathe. So animals can breathe. Animals can eat. Yeah, animals can eat. After it, they have some color. They have some color, right? Limerate, string, color. So these are the functions, and these are its attribute. So base class is our parent class is animal. So from animal, can we write that fish is my base class? From animal class, a fish has came, right? So I can write a fish. In fish, fish can breathe, fish can eat, fish has color. Additionally, along with all the inherited properties of animal class, our child class, that is fish, has unique one thing, that is it can swim. It can swim, and it has fins. It has a number of like fins. I don't know what we call fins and like in detailed language, but it has fins such that it uses to swim. So these two things extra fish class has. So fish animal is the parent class. Animal is the parent class. From the parent class, a child class is derived, right? So child class will store whatever the value or whatever the properties and functions derived class has. So it will inherit all the things from the parent class, and additionally it adds its unique functions and values. Now let us code this thing such that you will understand it even more better. So first of all, let me create my parent class. This is my first of all I am creating my parent class. You can write it as also base class. In the parent, first of all I am creating my parent class. The name of the class is animal. After it, here I am going to write my function, that is void. Void, it will return nothing. After it, my function name is eat. So it will eat, right? So in this I am printing system.out.print eats. After that, let me create another function, void breathe, breath, breathe. In the breathe function, I am going to print system.out.print breath, breathe. After that, here let me create attribute string color. That's all. This is my parent class. Now I am going to create my child class. Child class. So this is my child class. Now to create a child class, we have to first of all write our class name, class After that class name fish, we have to write extends what is the parent class animal. So fish class will extend whatever the inherent properties that animal class will have. After it will add our unique property, that is void swim. In the swim function, we will print system.out.print swims. After it, we can write int ribs or limbs fins, right? Okay, how many fins it has. Now let me save this thing, and in the main program I am going to create an object of fish. So I am going to write my fish class. After it, the name of the fish is, let us write shark. Shark is the object of my fish class, is equals to new fish. After it, you can see that I can access my swim, because in the class we have swim function. So I can write here shark dot swim. After that, I can also access the parent class elements or parent class properties. So let me give the current color. So you can see that in the parent class there is color. In the child, from the child class also I can access my parent class elements. This is how I can access, right? I can access shark dot color is equals to white. I am writing white. This is how I can extract the properties and attributes from my parent class, from child class to a parent class. After that, I am printing the color, that is shark dot color. Right. After that, I am writing shark dot eat. Shark dot eat. After that, I am calling shark dot. Let me give here breathe. Right, and save this thing, and here let me give also its fins, right? Shark dot fins. Shark have like around 4 fins, I don't know, but I am giving 4. After that, here I am printing its value, that is system.out.print fins. That's all. It is showing some kind of error, that is fins can't be resolved into a field. Okay, what the error is? Int fin. Okay, here we need to give this shark outside of my function, right? Because it's an attribute, right? Int fins, right? Save this thing and run. Here it is showing me error, that is println fins. So we have to give s1, that is shark dot fins. Now let me save this thing and run. You can see that shark swims, shark color is white, it will eat, it will breathe, and it has 4 legs or 4 fins, whatever you say, right? 4 fins. So you can see that this is my base class. This is my base class or parent class, and this is my child class. You can see that I haven't wrote any function like color, breathe, eat, right? Breathe, eat, swim, and all those things in my child function. I just wrote swim after fins, and in this main program you can see that I can able to access eat function, I can able to access breathe function, I can also print its color. But you can see that in the class I haven't wrote anything related to color, eat, breathe, right? These can be possible such that this can be only possible when our child class can inherit the properties of my parent class. So these properties, these all properties will get inherited by our child class. So this is how the child class and parent class works. Now there are various levels of various kinds of inheritance. Now let us talk about each one of them in detail. So the first kind of inheritance is single level inheritance. In this we will have a base class, that is our parent class. After it we will have a derived class. So you can take this example as animal. Animal is the base class. After it, mammal is the derived class. Mammal is the derived class from our from our base class. From our parent class D1, a mammal is the derived class. So this is how we can single level of inheritance works. We can write in the class animal, I am giving eat function. After it, breathe function. After it, what you can say, you can color string color, the color of mammals. After it, this is my parent class. After that, I am creating my class for mammals, class for mammals. I will write class name. After it, mammal. After writing mammal, I will write extends animal. So this will extend all the properties that my parent class has. In this, for mammals, we have like legs, right? For additionally, we have unique thing that is legs. So we will write int legs. After it, we will write void walk. Mammals can walk. These are their unique properties. So when I call the function or the object for mammal, when I create like mammal in the main program, this is in my main program. In my main program, when I create mammal, let us consider dog. Dog is equals to like a new mammal. Then when I call the properties along with this property, these properties also can be able to access. This property can also be accessed because this is my parent class, animal is my parent class, and mammal is my child class. So I can access the parent class elements through my child class. Now let us see multi-level inheritance. So when there are multiple steps in inheritance, like suppose like this is in the base class we have animal, right? In the animal we will have like different things. After it, from animal we got mammals. From mammals we got cats. And here we'll have properties like eat, breathe, right? Eat, breathe. After it, in the mammals we will have legs. After it, legs, we can also write walk. In the cat we can write a property like white color and all, breed of that particular class and all those things. Now let us code this thing. First of all, I'm going to create my class. After it, my name of the class, that is animal. This is my parent class. In this, what I'm doing, I'm writing functions for eat. In this, I'm printing system.out.print eat. After it, void. After eats we can write it will breathe, right? Breathe. System.out.print breathes, right? After it, I am calling my first child class, first child slash derived class, first class derived class, that is class mammal. Extends animal. In this, int legs. After it, void walk. In the walk program, what we are going to do, we are print system.out.print walk. That's all. Now I am going to do my second derived class. This is my second derived class. I am going to call class cat. In the cat extends mammal. In this, I am going to write int. I can write string color, right? That's all. Now let me save this, and in the main program I am going to create my cat cat object, that is a cat. Let me give my cat name as Olivia. Is equals to new cat. So now this is my child class, so I can access the properties of my first derived class and my parent class also. This is my parent class. So I can access from Olivia object, right? Olivia dot color is equals to pure white, right? So I'm giving pure white. After that, here let me give statement terminator. After that, Olivia legs. Olivia has 4 legs. After that, I am giving Olivia dot breathe, right? Olivia breathe, I am checking. After that, Olivia dot, I can access my animal function also, right? Because it's a parent class. After that, Olivia dot walk. That's all. Now let me save this. This is enough. Now let me save this and run. You can see that Olivia can breathe, Olivia can eat, Olivia can walk. So let me print the color also. Olivia color system.out.print Olivia dot color. Now let me save and run. So you can see that the color of Olivia is white. After it can breathe, it can eat, and it can walk. So this is how I can access the parent elements or parent class of my child. From the child class, this is how I can access my parent elements, parent functions, and all those things. Now let us talk about hierarchical inheritance. So to understand hierarchy of inheritance, let me take animal as my parent class. So from animal we have mammals, after it we have like birds, after it we have fish, and each function has its own unique property, like animals can eat, animals can breathe, right? In mammals has legs, right? In birds can fly, after that fish can swim. So these are the unique properties. So from a parent class to a multiple, like you can say from the parent class of these mammal is animal, the parent class of birds is animal, after the parent class of fish is also animal. So if the parent class of multiple classes is same, then it is known as hierarchical inheritance. Now let me put my animal class as it is. Now I am going to create another class bird. Bird extends animal. In this I am going to print system.out. Here first of all I am going to create my function void after function name fly. Fly is my function. Here I am printing system.out.print flies. Right, okay. This is my child class. After another child class mammal extends animal. Right, here void walk. I am printing system.out.print walks. After I am creating another class fish extends animal. In this void swim. After that I am printing system.out.print swims. Right, now here I am going to create, let me remove the cat function. Now I am going to create my, let us consider mammal dog. Dog is a mammal, right? Dog is equals to new mammal. After that I am accessing dog dot eat. After that dog dot walk, because mammals can walk, right? Okay, now I am creating another object that is for fish shark is equals to new fish. After that I can access fish dot swim. After that I can also access my parent class element, that is fish dot eat, that is shark dot eat, right? Shark dot swim. After that shark dot eat, right? Okay, now I am creating another object that is for bird peacock is equals to new bird. After that I am calling peacock dot fly. After peacock dot breathe functions. Now let me save this thing and run. You can see that dog can eat, dog can walk, fish can swim, fish can eat. After that peacock can fly. After that peacock can breathe. So this is how we can access our this is how the working of hierarchy inheritance works. Now let us talk about our fourth type of inheritance, that is hybrid inheritance. So let us consider an example to understand hybrid inheritance. So we have animal, right? In animal we have mammals, we have birds, and we have like fish. In fish we have again dogs, we have cats, we have humans, and all those things. In bird we have hens, we have peacock, right? In fish we have shark. After we can have like a tuna. So you can see that the hierarchy of the hierarchical inheritance is not followed here. That is, the parent class for this is same, but it is not following the same order. You can see that there are like two objects, there are two classes, and there are like three classes, and there are like two classes. So here multi-level inheritance is working. These things is known as hybrid inheritance. So up to now we have covered our second type of inheritance. We have covered our last type of inheritance, and we have understood how we can create our parent class, how we can extract the properties from my parent class by using our child class and all those things. Up to now we have completed inheritance, and second one is encapsulation, and we have studied about constructors, types of constructors like parameter, without parameter, and like copy constructor, shallow and deep copy, and how we can create classes, how we can access objects, how we can access the properties and functions of different objects, and how we can take and how the copy of a function to into another function, that is how copy constructor works and all those things. Now we are going to study about polymorphism and abstraction.